Hey, good morning, Canada. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show, or as you just saw on the video there, the Darren DuPont Show today.
Hey!
I don't know if we got one for you, dude, for Friday.
But I wouldn't work too hard.
Okay.
I wouldn't put too much effort into that.
Well, welcome in. No Rod Pedersen today. Again, he is in Texas, enjoying the sunshine, kissing Longhorns. And
that was awkward.
It was, hey?
That was a little awkward for me, seeing him posing with some beef like that.
Yeah, he's all about it. Did you see him hanging out with Snoop Dogg and LeBron?
I saw him at the Lakers game. Yeah, at the Lake. Wow, I'm a Lakers fan. 6-1, the Lakers.
Lakers and Spurs.
Yeah.
Are they back?
Yeah, they're back.
You're pretty happy?
Yeah, they're back. Well, who else is in the West? I mean, Golden State, they just can't keep anybody on the floor.
I know.
And there's your basketball updates
for the year.
Dear Hunter brothers.
Yeah, that's it. So there's Derek Myers in studio today. Big show for episode 110, famous number 10s, and there's going to be a lot of them today. And if you missed these, one of our P1s, Brady, who's in on the Prairie Mobile text line often too, and we know Brady is in school. He always sends in his numbers, and we read them on the air.
At a time.
It's funny, was it last week or the week before we said, just send him in and we'll put him in the pre-show. So he starts doing the homework. He's emailed them in ahead of time. And if you watch the pre-show, if you're in here right when we go live, right at 10 o'clock, Brady's 10s, all the greatest jersey numbers that he has are in there. And so we won't get to all of them because there's a lot. But I go right away, Guy Lafleur, Ron Francis.
Ron Francis, wow.
Marcel Dion.
Oh, yeah.
Braden Shen, if you want to get local. Saskatoon, Corey Perry. And then football, Solomon Elimimian, Jimmy Garoppolo and the undefeated 49ers.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are all number 10s.
And we were talking soccer is a massive one. Lionel Messi, Diego Maradona. Especially like the Argentinian contingent of number 10s.
Yeah.
That is a legendary number.
Ty's saying, where's my phone? Somebody's got to find my phone. In the mess of this morning, I'll get the Prairie Mobile text line, but I don't have my phone. It's somewhere in the building. I bet you the ringer's on. So if you want to call it, find my phone. I'm going into slight anxiety here without my phone this morning. Good morning. JR is watching from Cranbrook. Crystal says the graphic kills me. Yeah, it's pretty good. We're trying to decide if we got to take the beard off it, though, now that I shaved. Good morning, Wayne, who's watching from beautiful Victoria, BC. Dave Spadafora is watching in Regina. So good morning, guys. Welcome to the program. It's going to be a busy program here.
And by the way, I know I'm a week late on this, but it happened after I was here. Your Kelly Rempel costume and impersonation was so awesome.
You liked it?
So awesome. Yeah.
You know what? It's so funny. We did that on Thursday. So I had the Kelly Rempel outfit on, and if you missed it, it's on my Instagram feed at Darren DuPont. You can check it out on Instagram. And if you want to follow the show, it's at The Rod Pedersen Show. He was supposed to be in studio on the Thursday on Halloween.
Right.
I thought I'd be sitting right next to him. And turns out I didn't even know. And all of a sudden on Wednesday, he's here. And I'm like, well, Clark, why is he here Wednesday? Well, he had something come up. He couldn't be here Thursday. So he switched. And so I was disappointed, but I still had everything planned out. And the sweater he was wearing that day, I'm like, I've got the same sweater at home. I have to wear it.
That's great.
So, and then I put it out there and I tagged him in it on Twitter because he's not on Facebook or Instagram. And he never replied. And a small part of me thought I offended him.
Yeah, some people don't like impersonations. Frank Caliendo is the professional impersonator guy. He does a lot of sports guys. And he said it's always kind of awkward when you're somewhere and you're doing the impression of somebody and they're right there. You're not sure how they're going to take it. And he talked about Terry Bradshaw, different guys, when he was at when he worked at Fox.
Yeah.
And then when he went over to ESPN, of course, he does a Stephen A. And he said, you're never sure how they're going to take it. Some people are honored by it because they see it as, it's kind of flattery. Other people don't necessarily, Donald Trump doesn't think it's funny what they do on Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. So. I don't sound like that. Do I really sound like that? And they think you're doing it seriously. And Frank Caliendo does the great John Gruden impression. And if you watched Hard Knocks, he was actually in the meeting rooms up on stage delivering the address as John Gruden, in front of John Gruden.
He also, I saw one the other day that he did, it was from a few years ago, but he walked into the Arizona Cardinals and the team, and he put the hat on like Bruce Arians, when Bruce Arians was the coach there. And he drops one line, and the whole room exploded, because they were like, that's exactly Coach, So, some people take it well. Gruden's a guy that got a kick out of it, but not everybody thinks it's fantastic. But Rempel eventually paid homage, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty great. So he was in meetings. He thought it was fantastic. So that made me feel really, really good. Back to the Facebook feed for a second. Good morning, Paul, who's watching in Winnipeg. Hope Rob Nash is going well and you're enjoying yourself. We're missing you. The chair has been vacant all week.
Did you have to wash your face, though? Do you feel like you have to wash your face, Paul? Because you're in Winnipeg.
Yeah. You're going to have to stick around. We're going to have Les Laswick on the program. He's a Winnipeg guy, now the voice of the Saskatoon Blades forever.
Yeah.
10:45, we'll have him on, Paul. So if you've got an opportunity to watch, there was a great tweet. It was actually part of ESPN's NHL player poll. They said Winnipeg is the worst place to go to, and they had some not so nice things to say. We'll get to that in a little bit too. Brady, did you sneak out of class? He's into the comments feed, and we'll get to your comment on the Riders and their first place finish. I'll get to that, and I'll get to your thoughts on the Prairie Mobile text line too. Trent calling from Norway. He says Norway's calling. Says you'll miss Greg Jockham's coaching the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Hometown guy who does well nationally and does it from home. Needs to be saluted. Yes, he does. And we hooked up with Trent at the Rattlers game, so he knows Greg Jockham's very, very well, and wishing him the best as he resigned from the Rattlers, stepping down yesterday. That news breaking while we were on the air. And so Trent's found us at our new time, which is 10 a.m. Central Time.
What? It's the same time here. I don't understand.
We don't change our clocks. I'll say this again. I say this every day for the week here. We don't change our clocks. We just change our time zone. That's all we do. So we were 10 a.m.
No, we stay the same.
No, our clocks stay the same.
And we are Central Standard Time all the time. We don't go to Central Daylight Time.
Okay, but we were on Mountain Time for the first half of the year, and now we're on Central Time.
No, we're on Mountain. See, that's where people get a little bit confused. We were on Mountain.
I just had this figured out, I thought.
We're on Mountain Daylight Savings Time, which is technically, at that time of the year, Central Standard Time. We stay on Standard Time. Other people switch from Standard to Daylight and Daylight to Standard. We stay on Central Standard year long. We just correspond with Central or Mountain. Daylight savings.
Okay.
We just don't call it
Now I'm confused again. I thought I had this figured out.
Because we're the only ones who stay on it. It's not in the vernacular. Everybody else
we don't
uses
move.
it.
Okay.
That's correct.
Well, here I thought I had this cute little thing figured out.
So everybody just said, and once again, because then this is our inferiority complex sometimes, we're Alberta's kid brother. So when we're on the same time as Alberta, we say we're on Mountain. And when we are not on the same time as Alberta, we say we're on Standard.
But when
in fact we don't switch.
Right.
They're the ones who switch.
Right, but when someone's searching for what time the show's on, they should be searching Mountain Time or Central Time, right?
Yes, because the rest of the world uses that.
Okay,
even
good.
Though
but we're trying to communicate with the rest of the world.
Central Standard.
So the long and short of it is it's 5 p.m. when we're on the air now in Norway.
That was the
okay.
That was the science geek in me right there.
I appreciate that. We got to get this right.
See, we're always UTC -6. We never change. Universal Transmercator, whatever it is called.
UTC. We're always UTC 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm confused. Let's not go down that road anymore. Good morning, Scott in Saskatoon. The folks at Great West are watching again, and Doyle as well. Good morning to you and the folks at Wendell Clark's in Saskatoon. No Rod's a huge fan of Wendell Clark's, and we actually sent Tyler down there on a little scouting tour of Saskatoon yesterday.
The corner of Idlewild and Circle?
Yeah. Great spot. Perfect on the way to the games, too, and go to the Blades games.
Yeah,
right. It's a great place to stop.
Especially if you're coming up from Regina, you take Circle Drive around.
Oh, yeah.
You're right there.
You're right there. Blades games,
Turn
Rush
left
games.
instead of right.
and it's easy to get out, and right away you go. So there you go. Mike Lee is watching. Good morning from Maui. Everybody's on holidays.
You know what? I'd like to say hi, Mike, and thanks for tuning in. But, dude, it's like minus 30 here today. I'm so jealous of Mike.
Yeah, my car said minus 16. Some people said minus 19.
Yeah, wind chill.
This morning with the wind chill in Saskatchewan. Not warm.
We're not golfing today. Mike's my golfing buddy.
But that's where it's gone. So Rod's in Texas. It's warm there.
Yeah.
Mike's in Maui. It's warm there.
I'm going to Vegas in a month. I got
You're
that
going to Vegas. Marshall Hamilton's is he in Florida or Arizona or California? Randy's watching from Mesa, Arizona, and we're here in Saskatchewan. So John Lynch and I had to do in the huddle last night, and we had a good time. I let John just go off on the Riders' first place finish.
He was pretty excited.
He's pretty excited about the first place finish.
Hey, you know what? Rightfully so. I mean, we should get into it, I guess, at some point. Is this the most understated first place team? And there hasn't been that many of them. We've chronicled it here in the past. A West Division finishing first place team in a long time. I mean, when they started the season, you didn't know really what to expect. You had to deal with an injury, and then you have a new coach and all this. I mean, it does. It feels like it's the most understated first place team ever.
It does.
What do you got?
I said I wouldn't ring the bell, but this is too big not to ring the bell. 3 Down Nation, just pulling it up right now, and just got the notification. Devon Claybrooks out as head coach in BC.
Come on.
Devon Claybrooks is out, is the head coach of the BC Lions. So that's huge. That's huge this morning.
That's confusing to me.
Yeah, it's massive, massive, massive. So we're going to get into this. I really thought Devon had hurt himself another year. I think this is crazy. Ed Hervey's feeling some heat. He's feeling some heat. They had a tough year.
I don't think he's much of a GM.
And for Devon Claybrook, BC went 5-13, last in the West Division. But after their tough start, they had turned things around towards the end of the season.
And then your quarterback gets hurt.
Your quarterback got hurt right at the end, and you had a chance to potentially get into the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean,
that was a long shot. But he had turned this team around. Now remember, that's a whole young staff. So I thought maybe they had earned themselves half, 3/4 of a year to get things going. And I know there was high expectations on this team. We had all predicted BC to be a playoff team. We predicted them to potentially be a top 2 team.
I don't know.
With Mike Riley being the quarterback. We all predicted it.
You know what?
We all had Edmonton in the toilet.
I lay this at the feet of, I don't know when we got to take a break here, but holy cow. This is, I could take a thought about this, but this is pretty knee-jerk. You hire this guy away. He is probably the premier against Chris Jones last year. Top defensive guys in the league when he was a coordinator there in Calgary. So you hire him away. You give him. But are you really giving a guy a chance when you have no offensive line? You got like one receiver. To be fair, you brought in Deron Carter. Well, where the hell was he all year?
Well, and all the signs for me pointed to
personnel.
It all pointed to Devon being brought back because everything was trending in the right way. So this team had said it would fall off the cliff, right? It was a tough year. The offensive line was terrible, but you made changes. So you switched up the offensive line coach. All of a sudden, the offensive line started to play better.
Absolutely.
You started to grow. You learned, this coaching staff got their feet underneath them, and then you started to see the wins come towards the end of the year. So I thought the end of the year was a real positive sign to show where these guys have grown and that they were set up to take a big step forward next year. And now you're going to start from scratch again.
Be interesting. Is that team not for sale? Is David Braley not selling that team? Holy cow. If I'm a new owner and I'm coming in looking at this, I'm looking around to see who's out there for general managers and just start fresh. Because if I'm buying this team and I'm going to try and sell this and grow this in that market and recapture some of what was the BC Lions a number of years ago, Ed Hervey, I think I would be living out of boxes right now and getting ready to get the hell out of town because this is, in my opinion, without knowing anything else, and there might be more to this, and it might kind of filter out here, but on its face, as you just rang the bell and dropped this seems awfully knee-jerk of Ed Hervey.
Yeah, this is the rollout for Flooring Superstore. JR mentions the fans didn't like Claybrooks. I don't know if that's true in BC or not. I'm not in that market, but that could be. You want to sell. You need to sell the product to the fans. Pat our friend PJ. Claybrooks got the short end of the stick on that one. I thought for sure he would have earned another year. Craig Monroe, Calgary just got better. He thinks Devon Claybrooks will be back as their defensive coordinator. Possibly. And Robin Wildy in PA, if Campbell stays in Ottawa, does he get Claybrooks? Does Claybrooks get fired so quick if Rick Campbell would have stayed in Ottawa? Because I think that's something to be considered too.
Is he not going to Edmonton?
Well, there's a whole lot to be, to break down in the situation.
Holy crap! We haven't even played a playoff game yet, and already the moves and all the things are moving around here when it comes to the coaching spinning wheel circle.
Everybody signed and sealed the contract for Rick Campbell in Edmonton already. It makes sense. Brock Sunderland is there. Trevor Harris is there.
Did he not work
Greg Ellingson is there.
Did he not work with Ed Hervey in Edmonton as well, though?
Who? Rick Campbell?
Yeah.
Possibly, but listen to this. And other people thought, okay, it just sets up for the switch. Rick Campbell's going to go to Edmonton. Jason Moss is going to get let go, and he's going to end up back in Ottawa where he had so much success as an offensive coordinator. Right? But that's it. And that was brought up by Dave Naylor. Don't be so quick to just seal Edmonton. First of all, Rick Campbell's an upgrade on a lot of coaches in the CFL. And so there might be more opportunity. And for Jason Moss, that bridge might have been burned in Ottawa the way he left as an offensive coordinator, leaving to take a job in Edmonton. And Ed Hervey's the guy in Edmonton who brought Jason Moss in. So you're right. That could be an opening for Jason Moss to end up with Mike Riley in BC.
Yeah. Rick Campbell has a history with Lions GM Ed Hervey and President Rick LaLacheur from their days in Edmonton. That from Matt Sakaris out there in BC. So yeah, they do have a bit of a history there, Rick Campbell.
Maya and commenting in on the Facebook wall about the suave hair. Did you see that one?
Yes.
She said, you have suave hair, Darren, but you should grow a beard. First time viewer, she quotes in.
Oh,
first time, long time, right?
Just missed out.
So just missed out. I just had it, shaved it for the Halloween costume, and now I can't commit to going through the couple days of awkward growth.
Oh yeah.
So, and typically all winter long I don't have one. I grow it for like 2.5 months in the summer, and that's it. But yeah, we'll see about that. But breaking news this morning here in the warm-up, as we got to get a break in. We'll do this right now, and then we'll go to Montreal. So breaking news this morning, Devon Claybrooks no longer the head coach in BC. Completely changed the direction I wanted to go today. I thought we would get some hockey in. We will. But first, we're going to go out to Montreal after the break. Joey Alfieri from TSN Radio in Montreal will be alongside. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about the Owls and their semifinal game against Edmonton. Also today on the program, Les Lazaruk, voice of the Saskatoon Blades. Former Eskimos, Stampeders, and Riders lineman Randy Chevrier will be alongside in hour 2. And in the bunker, Rider great Chris Best will be in the bunker in studio. So looking forward to that.
Former Duke Blue Devil.
Hey, there you go. Former Duke Blue Devil. So much going on this morning in episode 110. We'll take a break, gather our thoughts, and be back with more. Thanks for watching the Rollout for Flooring Superstore. It's the Rod Pedersen Show on Facebook Live, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.